Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm the Chief People Officer here at Speedy. I've been with the company for almost 3.5 years, but working with HR and people teams for over 35 years. I absolutely love my job and I've thoroughly enjoyed my career every step of the way. At home, I'm married to Dave. He's an electrical engineer, and we have 3 wonderful boys. Ryan, who's 24 and he's in the army. Nathan, who's 19 and he's a bricklaying apprentice. And Ethan, who's 17, who's looking to go to university to study acting. So how did my career impact my kids? Well, positively, we had great holidays. We had some fantastic activities that we do on weekends, and they honestly never really wanted for anything. We created some fantastic memories, and I used to really focus my time on them and never took it for granted when I had that time. During the week though, from a work perspective, I would often have to travel. So I would have to drag them out of bed quite early, drop them off at a friend's. I rarely was able to take them to school or pick them up myself. They couldn't really have friends over in the week for tea, and that was always a bugbear. They would go to other people's, but I couldn't have people over because we couldn't guarantee what time I'd be home from work some nights. And then finally, I guess they just really suffered with a lack of routine. There was never really a lot of forward planning beyond the week ahead, and that was really difficult for them. One piece of advice that I gave my children, that's quite difficult to answer, I think I've given them lots, but the number one would be to be kind, treat people with kindness, and then you get that back in spades. So proudest moments, personally, very recently Ryan passed out from his basic training at Pirbright for the Army. It was an absolute privilege to attend that, and moreover him getting Soldier's Soldier Award was absolutely brilliant, a real proud mum moment. For Nathan in particular, his anxiety and him overcoming that, moving from college into his apprenticeship, and he's done really well. And then for Ethan, really achieving his goals to be able to get the right qualifications to get to university has been fantastic. So I really look forward to him pursuing his career of being an actor. And then from a professional point of view, it's seeing my team achieve the promotions that they've received over the last couple of years, the integration into the business and the recognition that the function really deserves. I'm really proud of that. I don't think that being a female has particularly impacted my career in any way. I've never been detrimented or overlooked because of my gender at all. So I'm very lucky not to have experienced what some women I know have experienced in other industries and other companies. However, I think what I do need to recognise that in the role that I hold, that I must make sure I use my voice as a female to really support other women that maybe do feel negatively impacted by their gender or looked over, because we're not all as assertive as one another and we don't all necessarily have that sphere of influence. So I see my role to really make sure I make that impact, and I speak for and behalf of those females that might be finding it more difficult. Getting the balance between personal and professional commitments can be tricky, particularly since COVID and the home office. Easy to step back in here and just do a bit more work and really annoy the family. So making sure we have ground rules in place here, really important. No technology at the table. Spending time together. But what I like most and how I distract my own mind is really watching a thriller, some kind of murder. I'm a policeman's daughter, so I'd really like to solve the crime. Or the other thing I really like is to follow the darts, so nothing more than a trip down to the Ali Pali pleases me no end, or even going to some of the Premier League games throughout the year. So making sure you've got distractions, making sure you follow the diary, and having some rules, particularly around technology, really works in our house. Look, it's really tough attracting people into the construction industry, and in particular into hire. So even more difficult to attract women to come and join us. When I started out in my career, I don't think I would have ever considered the hire industry because I didn't know what it was, and I certainly wouldn't have thought it could offer the sorts of careers I wanted to do. So I think we've really got to dig deep. We need to educate, communicate, and demonstrate all the fantastic career opportunities that are in our industry.